in 4 months. Like, oh my God. AARP calls me every day like, oh, it's getting out of hand. But I've learned so much. I feel like it would be such a waste if I didn't share everything I've learned with you guys throughout these past couple thousand years of my life. So that's what I'm here to do today. I'm actually not a comic. I'm just here to share the good news. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. Number 1, if he's relying on group photos in his Tinder profile, do not get your hopes up. He's the ugly one. Thank you. 2, don't buy flower-shaped nipple covers unless you want flower-shaped nipples at the end of the day. My crush asked me yesterday if that's based on a true story. Yay. Okay. 3, don't walk into the self-help section of a bookstore when you're in a bad mood, unless you want to spend $60 on 2 books you will never use again. The Body Positivity Journal is still in its original wrapping. 4, not my circus, not my monkeys is a stupid fucking phrase, because like I go to the circus for the show, like I'm invested in the entertainment. 5, fish is a trash food. It's the only food that's described as being good if it doesn't taste like itself. Like, you don't say, oh, these pretzels are so good because they're not too pretzely. You'd be laughed out of Auntie Anne's. I believe that with all my heart. 6, pediatrician's main job after you turn 14 is to body shame you. Fuck Christina. 7, don't use your joint Amazon account with your mom when buying things for a comedy sketch. She'll immediately call you and ask you why you bought S&M handcuffs. Stephanie immediately knew it was for a comedy sketch. Do you know how little faith she has in my love life? It's really sad. 8, don't meet your heroes when you have intrusive thoughts. You'll convince yourself that they hate you even though they could not pick you up out of a lineup. 9, don't ask men named John but go by Jack why they go by Jack. They don't like it. Also, they always blame it on their dead grandpa. Like, don't bring Jack into this. 10, if you are taking a quiz once a week in high school to see if you're bi, guess what? You're bi. 11, don't be a third wheel to prom. You should have just stayed home. Now you guys see my origin story of being a comic. 11. Oh wait, that was 11. 12. Okay, 12 is, they say that the days are long, but the years are short. I think the fastest way to measure time is birth control packs. Like, I open a new one and I'm like, where the fuck have the 3 weeks gone? You know what I mean? Alright. He just sees you as a friend. Oh wait, sorry, that was a note for later. That wasn't a part of that. The number 1 form of birth control is being a female in comedy. You won't get pregnant, trust me. Speaking of which, like, the Scientific American has an article where they talk about basically what men and women are looking for when they say that they want a funny partner. Like, when a woman is saying she wants a guy who's funny, we want someone who will make us laugh, will tell us jokes, will make us happy. And as someone who would happily be Andy Samberg's mistress, I completely agree with that analysis. But when men say that they want a funny woman, they want someone who will laugh at their jokes. Which is why we see so many men in comedy, yeah! Some of the men in comedy just suck as people. And if any of you are like, oh man, Alex, that's messed up, I'm a male in comedy, you're the fucking problem. If you're like, and then if you're like, oh yeah, some of us suck, we're best friends now. They won't chug my drink. Yay. You guys can laugh. Thank you. But yeah, no. I feel like some of the exchanges I've had with men in comedy are too good not to share, so I'm also here to share some of those. So there was this one guy, I had just made jokes about being in therapy, and this one guy said on stage while he was performing, oh, that's so good you actually mentioned therapy. I recently started therapy and my therapist told me I have commitment issues. So I decided to finally commit and lock down the date of my suicide. But you're so beautiful that I'm gonna wait a couple weeks and try to get your number after the show. Which is kind of creepy, but could technically be sweet if he wasn't a 45-year-old ex-con. And the fact that I said that I see my pediatrician still in my set makes me a little suspicious as to why he went to prison in the first place. This other guy that same night was wearing Tommy Bahama shirt, khaki cargo pants, so we already know who the fuck this guy is. And he said, oh, I fucked so many bitches. I get so much pussy, which, if you're saying that, no you don't. But he said like all of that, and then my friend and I were the only females there. We were the youngest people there, so all women in this room know that look of like, we paid money to be here, but if we stay, we might die. So like, what the fuck do we do? So in that moment, he looked at us, and like we're like this far away, and he goes, "Don't worry, I'm not talking about you guys." And I said the funniest thing that was said during that whole set: "We know you're not talking about us." And then he said, "Not with your consent, at least." Yeah! Those two experiences were my fault. I shouldn't have gone to a mic at 9:45 on Father's Day. Like, that was my fault. But yeah, no. And then, like, this other guy at another mic a couple months later, he was making a joke about how he wishes that Google Maps had, like, a warning function for, like, big jugs ahead. So you could warn other dudes if big jugs are ahead. And he made direct eye contact with my tit the entire time he was making that joke, which would work if I wasn't a C cup. You know what I mean? Like, that's not big jug me. But yeah, no. And then I have this one joke about this guy outside of the 7-Eleven who basically like yelled at me like, "Damn, I know you feel sexy. I just want to play with your belly." Which did happen, and he's a professional for knowing what I hate about myself. But so I like was talking about that, and this one guy after the show came up to me and said, "I didn't really get that joke because it seemed like you took that as a compliment. Not to sound like a creepy uncle or anything, but some men like a little extra in the middle." You know what women don't like? Being told that we have a little extra in the middle. He's